First question's from Alana Rizzo. Go ahead, Alana.
Blake, thanks for taking the time to be with us today. Just first off, your thoughts about these final 7 games. What's the most important thing for you to achieve before you guys start the postseason?
Well, I think, just kind of a few conversations around the clubhouse and just, personally have been in situations like this before. Just trying to make this a mentality of playoff baseball and doing the little things right, not giving extra outs, not giving hitters chances when you get ahead in counts, or knowing what situations dictate, I guess different approaches within the game. And, I think our guys did a really good job, and we refocused ourselves in San Diego. Not that we were, playing terrible baseball by any stretch, but maybe not collectively how we feel like this team can play. And I think things have cleaned up pretty good since then. Had a pretty good road trip. Now we're here in LA, and it's time to kind of just get settled in and focusing on executing. It's so cliche, like one pitch at a time, or one at bat at a time, and just doing little things right so that at the end of the day, at the end of the game, there's less errors. There's as perfect a brand of baseball as you can do going into the postseason, because that's what it's going to take to win games in October.
Any feelings or emotions going up against your former club, a club in which I know you have a lot of respect for, and guys that you have respect for, but also where you've had so much success?
That organization drafted me originally. They took a chance on me, Flyer, when I was on my way out of D.C., and they were nothing but great to me and my family. And it's a little bittersweet, not being able to play there and seeing the success they've had this year. I'm so happy for those guys, that coaching staff, the players. A lot of those guys are having great years, and the success they had is exactly what they've worked for the last 3 years, when I was there. And so seeing it come to fruition for them to win a division, couldn't be happier for them. Is there emotions? I mean, I'm excited to go maybe catch up, briefly on the sidelines here, at, obviously 6 feet apart, and maybe heckle a little bit and have some fun with a couple of them. Maybe see if Lou has a better beard than me. I don't know. But I miss those guys. I wish them all the best of luck. But whatever it is, 6 games from now, I don't give a rip if they win or not.
That makes sense.
Maybe see them in the World Series. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. That's a replay of 88. That'd be kind of cool. Last time that this team won a World Series, to do it again against the A's would be kind of cool. But I wish all those guys all the success. I'm excited to see them. I'm really excited to be here in LA and have an opportunity to play with these guys. And it's just a new challenge to play against a bunch of guys that have seen you up close and personal, for the last 3 years. So I guess it's twofold. I've seen them and they've seen me. So it'll be cool.
You have a team that you left that's a contender in the postseason, and your current team is as well tonight, with some help from the Angels, being able to be a part of that.
I'm sorry, you're going to have to repeat the question. It chopped out. I heard about 5 words.
I apologize for that. Just what would it mean for you to be able to lock down the NL West with this group of guys?
Oh, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I've only been here for like an abbreviated year. It's such a unique season in itself, let alone being new to a club. Anytime you have a chance to win a division, I mean, you have to cherish it. Very few people get a chance to do that in their careers, let alone, more than once, like these guys have here for, correct me if I'm wrong, has it been 7 straight years and this would be 8, or is it 6 and will be 7?
This will be the
it's pretty incredible. The only other franchise that comes to mind in my lifetime that I've heard do something similar to that, maybe the Yankees at some point, but really just you think about the Braves in the 90s. And this team's pretty built with depth to do it for years to come. So I've been fortunate to be on a couple teams in DC that did that. Real close in 2018, I think we were 5 games back, but all the way to the end, we had a chance to maybe make a run at Houston. And but this team this year is pretty special, considering all the obstacles and the distractions and the lack of normality to this season. To go out and put your head down and stay focused through the COVID time, back at our houses and let it translate with the work that we put in. It's cool. I mean, San Diego is no slough, and being able to compete against them this year and see their talent and ability and, you know, and playing well. And I think it's a huge honor to potentially say we win that division. What are you saying tonight? If we win, that's the case?
If you win and San Diego loses to the Angels, the Dodgers will clinch for the 8th straight year.
Otherwise, 2 wins gets it. All right. Fair. All right. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Thank you, Blake, for your time. I apologize for the internet connection.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Next question is from Susan Slusser. Go ahead.
Hey, Blake, how you doing?
Good, Susan. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You apologies to the Dodgers writers on here. This is a specific question, but you mentioned Lou. You guys obviously became very close, and you guys both struggled last year. What are your thoughts on what he's done this year and kind of bouncing back?
I mean, how's he done? I don't know. No, I'm joking. I think he's had a great year. I talked to him a little bit, you know, time to time. Very seldom you get to run across some people like Lou, or just in general, no matter who you are as a person, just that you can, you know, have a good friendship with and talk about things on and off the field, life, the game. You know, Lou's a good kid, and I think last year is just such a weird year, and we go through ups and downs as players, and being able to weather those storms and kind of get back to what makes you successful. And you know, the Dodgers did such a good job of getting me to a place where I can be who I am as a player, what I've been my whole career, you know, and then hopefully trying to get as close to I can as, you know, the best parts of my career. And, you know, I feel like I'm there this year. I feel really, really good. And I think, you know, with Lou, I think maybe I was talking to him about 3 weeks into the season. It wasn't really going the way he wanted. I checked back and saw how he was doing, you know, 3 weeks later, and his ERA looked great, because I mean, those are numbers everybody looks at. His ERA, his stuff looks great. I watched him pitch from time to time. I plug back into MLB app and watch him. So I think Lou is a very talented individual, and will have, you know, God willing, with health and all that, plenty of years ahead of him. So last year is just a learning blip on the radar, and you know, the A's are very lucky to have him. I mean, a lot of those guys over there, I mean, shoot, that bullpen's having a great year. So
Yeah, awesome. Thanks. His beard is better than yours.
100%. It's thicker. I need Miracle Grow. It's fine.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead.
Hey, Blake, it seems like an annual thing in September out here that Kenley has maybe one bad outing and there's a loss of faith in him from outside the team. Having been a closer, what is that like? How much of that registers with you?
Like pertaining to just like the outside noise and how to deal with it, or?
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, you're 9 for 10 in saves, and all anybody focuses on is that one.
Yeah, you know, Kenley, you don't just, you know, luck into reliever of the month like he did to start the season, and just because he's having a good year, man. He's had, you know, what, two outings that maybe he isn't happy about. I think maybe the one in Arizona and the one in San Diego. Is that maybe correct? And, you know, all the way through, we have our ups and downs, but people, I think the society in general, we're all just so focused on the negatives. It's kind of like we're addicted to negative attention or negative news and all this stuff right now. And just in general, you know, I think outside noise, people expect you to be perfect. I mean, they see maybe salaries attached to performances, but I mean, none of us in any job that we do is 100% perfect. And talking about competing against the best in the world right here, it's his stuff plays, his stuff's good. His pitch ability's been there. And I don't think the outside noise is playing any on him, because, you know, he's been doing it for 10 years. And you asked, what can I bring to the table to him? And it's like, you know, I was a closer for a year and a half, 2 years maybe, if you tie the second half and the first half of those first and last year I was in Oakland. But I can't really bring a ton to the table. Maybe just like hey, let's get our mind off the game a little bit and just talk about life. Kenley's a good dude. He's got a level head on his shoulders, and he knows how to approach the game, or else he wouldn't have been doing it for as long as he did. So there'd be a lot of people lining up to have him in their bullpen. I know we're very blessed to have him, and this team doesn't move forward without him. So the outside noise can say what they want, but, with all due respect, I mean, the people that know the game best are the ones here playing, and we've been around it. We've seen the ups and downs, and I respect fans' opinions because they're the ones that, they're the ones that make this game worth playing, and they have the right to have their opinions. But I bet when he closes the World Series, people are going to be saying he's the greatest closer in Dodger history or whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like, let's just throw it out there. He's one of the greatest of all time. So, opinions change from day to day, but who he is as a person, let's not identify that with who he is as a player.
I suspect he's pretty distracted by the Lakers right now anyway. But when you signed to come here, was there any part of you that thought, I might get back into a closer role, or were you just embracing the situation?
I had multiple teams ask me, not necessarily give me the closer role in negotiations or anything. Say, hey, look, you're healthy, you pitch well, like it's probably going to be yours. It is yours. We can't guarantee it's yours. I've learned from some very wise men in this game, Adam LaRoche being one of them, Ian Desmond. I've been very blessed to have some really good people around me on and off the field, and I'm not chasing self-gratifying glory. I'm not chasing, the biggest dollar. Like, I'm not chasing anything other than I want to play in this game. I want to throw in meaningful innings, and I want to glorify God. And so the biggest thing for me coming into this season was I get to choose a team to play on. And very seldom do players get to choose a team to play on. And I was so blessed that a few of the teams that were asking me, for an opportunity or coming towards me were teams that can contend for a World Series. And on top of that, the Dodgers came to me with a plan to get me back right and keep me healthy. And it wasn't about let's just run him out there for 1 year and abuse him and get ours, like let's get what we can out of this guy, and then so be it. He goes on his way. Like, their biggest sell to me was like, hey, look, we want you to have a long, healthy career, and there's nowhere better than being in LA. And so moving forward, like, I was never worried about closing. I was never worried about, having this contract. I was never worried about taking someone's job. I think that's just a nasty way to go about life if you're looking to just, thrive off other people for nasty reasons. I personally, back to your question, signed here because I wanted to win a World Series. I signed here because I wanted to stay healthy. If there's a time when Kenley's down and they need me to throw the ninth, like, I'll throw the ninth. I think that's just a blessing for both me and the Dodgers because I love throwing the ninth. I've also really enjoyed throwing in these high leverage innings this year. But I didn't sign here with any intention of trying to take the ninth inning or – I mean, I don't know. I wanted to win, and I wanted to learn. So there's no better place because they've got some phenomenal arms down there. They've got great staff. And, the biggest thing, I'm healthy. I thank God every day that, things worked out the way they did in Oakland, and things worked out the way they have here in LA, that they're willing to take a chance on me because this is the healthiest I've felt probably since my rookie year.
Next question is from Dave Vassay. Go ahead.
Hey, Blake, with the way the playoff format is set up, there's a possibility of having to use more than one closer in the first couple of rounds. Has that scenario been presented to you? Have you thought about that?
No. I think the biggest thing for me is just, I have to stay ready for any and all situations. It can be the fifth inning, it can be the ninth inning, it can be really whatever the game dictates. It's kind of what it's been this year, relayed from Doc to Mark all the way down to, Josh Bard out in the bullpen. It's, like, we've got so many talented arms down there. It's going to be what it's going to be. We can throw anybody in any inning, I feel like. And so, I mean, those discussions will probably happen as we get closer. But right now, the biggest thing is, winning our division. And like was brought to my attention earlier by Alana, it's like, I didn't realize, we were a game away. I just assumed, because it's really – this year's playoff format is kind of weird. There's no real benefit to winning your division. You're still playing 3 games like the rest of the league. There's no real home field advantage. They're, making us go to Texas. It's like there's no fans in the stands except for potentially in Texas, which is another conversation. So, like, it's like, hey, just get to the playoffs because it's an even playing field at that point. And if, by the way it looks right now, there's a chance that we would play a team that we played 10 times this year, which is a benefit and like a plus and a negative. So to me, it's kind of strange, the playoff system. It is what it is. I mean, there's brilliant people that design this stuff up, and we just say, okay, yeah, sure, we'll do it. So I think the biggest thing is winning today. The playoffs will take care of themselves when we get there. And, ask me that question maybe in a week, and then we'll be able to go from there.
We got time for one more. Go ahead, Jorge.
Blake, you were on good teams, great teams in DC and obviously in Oakland. What makes this Dodgers team, unique, good, great? What makes it different from any other teams you've been on?
Well, I think each team I've been on has been unique to itself. DC teams were, ultra talented with, these star-studded, hyped-up guys in the media because, they've got incredible abilities. Oakland was great because they had young talent, and you talk about clubhouse chemistry, and this isn't like anything against DC because those guys, great guys. But it was just, for me personally, it was different in a way that everybody in Oakland was genuinely wanting the next guy to do better than themselves. And so that's what made that team great, is at the end of the year, when you're cheering for your teammate to do as good as you, a lot of people had career years, both in 18 and 19. So that's what that team, it's kind of like Oakland versus the world, right? Those guys rally around the negative, I don't know, when you think about Oakland, it's an old stadium. It's careers, people go there for careers to be resurrected. Well, now they got this youth movement, and they've got a happy blend of these, talented veterans. It's, it's all of them together versus the world. And that's what makes them so good on top of their talent. And you come here to LA, and it's from top to bottom, you've got great chemistry from the GM all the way down to your training staff, the coaching staff, the players. And on top of it, you're taking phenomenal talent, that has not only been great from the moment they were drafted, but they've achieved so much in their careers, and the ability that they've done to draft guys and bring them in and develop them. You're seeing it in Gonsolin and May and Lux and Rios and Beatty, and I'm missing so many guys, but add those guys to the veterans that have already been here and played in the playoffs. That's what's cool, is there's experience, there's success, there's depth. Crazy depth. And, it's just as cool. It's kind of like a brotherhood in here. And I'm new to it, so I'm still trying to get my mind wrapped around it. It feels a little weird in baseball terms on how friendly and great it is here from top to bottom. And the best two experiences, I've been very fortunate to have 3 great experiences in DC, Oakland, and LA. So you asked for a distinctive difference. I don't know. All 3 of them have some similarities, and that's why they win. So.
Thanks, Blake. Thanks, everybody.